Necro.
Dom.
Okay. It's after hours, so I can talk. Why did that beautiful fawn creature horse look like it have like a pecker going out its ass?
Hang on. I didn't even see that. We're about to go rewatch this.
It looks like a straight up football.
Holy shit! I don't know. Nasty, what did you do?
It looked like it had.
It's called a barracoast. A barracoast is what helps the hippogriff fly.
Well,
it's
sure
kind of like a dorsal fin.
If anybody would know, it would be Matt.
Yeah.
Do they like warm mayo?
No, it's called a barracoast.
You want a barracoast in your booty hole?
No.
So you can fly?
I'm fine.
It's like a second. It's like a second, like tail spinal cord attachment.
It's a second tail. That's why.
Yeah. Like second tail.
But what's up, guys? We got the amazing fucking Jenny and Matthew and Turtle.
There's people in there. Say hi to them. Say hi to the people.
I forgot how to speak.
Yeah.
We got Yankee in the house.
Let's see if you tap them. No, they don't do anything if you tap them, but.
No, for some reason I'm tapping Fluffy and it's not saying.
Let's pinch one and see what. Who did we get? Let's see. Who did we get? We've plucked. It's a nub. I got a nub.
I won.
I got a nub from the chat.
But tonight, guys, it's Cryptid Monday. Technically, it is Monday. So,
I like Mondays.
I like turtles.
You like potatoes.
I like potato. I like potato. I like french fries.
He also likes tuna helper. He puts tuna helper in his pants.
Every night before I go to bed.
He likes that warm, squishy sensation.
It helps
so
me
we're going
sleep.
to talk about banshees.
Yeah, not toilet lickers.
Ow!
But we're not talking about toilet lickers. We're going to be talking about Banshee.
It was seat lickers, thank you.
Seat lickers, my
the
bad.
Seat lickers.
It's my screaming.
Always seat licker.
So Nubs, what's a banshee?
It's one of those creatures that scream.
One of these?
Yeah.
I'm not a creature, I'm a human.
That's debatable.
Yeah, it could be. My dad said I was hatched, so.
But banshees, aren't they usually women? But you?
From what I hear, yeah.
No.
Oh.
No.
He's going to give us one. Hold up.
Banshees,
hey, Sarah,
in modern times, yes, it's recorded to the last known Banshee sighting, which was a female. But throughout history, the Banshee is where the origins come from Scotland and Ireland. It is a long past ancestor. And in that, when a Banshee comes to you, the Banshee scream was a forewarning that somebody in your family or close to you is about to die. Only
so
within
heard that. You all heard him scream. Go hug all your family members tonight.
It it was a forewarning, a precursor to, you know, maybe your family lineage is going to pass away. Something that's going to halt the continuation of your family line.
Yeah.
Then, with the following of the monster hunter craze in the mid 1700s and the early 1800s, the Victorian era, banshees became more of a scream of death. Supposedly, the scream is supposed to deafen the person. It's supposed to have more of a powerful effect of killing you after a long period of time. But
Yeah.
that's through.
I also heard that banshees were up there with like the fae in terms of, you know, I guess that's because of the Irish folklore incorporated with it.
Yeah.
Don't go looking for no fae. You don't want no part of that. Because all the research I've ever done about the fae, they're all exes of Matt. And once Matt knocks the bottom out of something, it ain't right anymore.
You know why that fae circle's so big? Is because Matt was in there.
So when you see these little doors and shit in your backyard, don't go knocking. Don't go looking. Because
I'll knock all night, but that's because I want
I'm knocking when the door's rocking.
Matthew was here, had do not disturb sign with a little picture of Matt right there. But no,
and a banana suit.
But I always heard that they were like associated with the fae, or they were part of the fae. And as I grew up, I was like, my Irish great grandmother was like, don't be messing with fairies, don't be messing with leprechauns, because they're mischievous. And they're not nice. And that's why you see them written as like Tinkerbell. She don't exist for a magnitude of reasons, but it's because fairies like they were like the little dicks with wings, you know, like they're just like not nice. And so people would always be like,
like the Tooth Fairy.
Yeah.
The Tooth Fairy comes from the dark woods of Germany. Yeah. And it's not the Tooth Fairy that's coming to get your teeth and give you money. Tooth Fairies were... They actually ate the calcium out of your bones and destroyed your bones. They would crawl under your skin and eat everything of you and leave your husk of, you know, boneless flesh. Same thing with, you know, some of the fairies, if you did trap into a fae circle, you are allowed one wish. Mm-hmm. And that one wish comes with a price. Say, I love you, Jen. I love you, sis. But say something happens to Jen, okay? Jen falls into a coma or, okay? And Fluffy sees a circle of rocks in his front yard. He is allowed to enter that and ask for one wish. And say he asks for Jen to be brought back to life. That fae will say a life for a life. Mm-hmm. So you will get Jen back, but who will you lose in return to get Jen back? Like, and the same thing with the Banshee. The Banshee is a foreteller of your fate, like the fate of your lineage. You don't know who it is, so it's going to drive you crazy trying to protect everybody of your family. And that's how you really die. Most people go insane, stuff like that, from the Banshee's wail. But it's not from the wail, it's from
the
who am I protecting?
Psychosis, yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but there's other forms of banshees. Like there's the woe strider. The woe strider comes from all of Europe, and it is a really petite male riding a very petite horse, and it will moan as it's slowly walking through your area. everything around it will wither and die. And if you hear the moaning, you will wither and die away also, just like the figure on the horse. You will start kind of like an extreme case of AIDS or something. Like, you will literally husk away. Your body will husk away and everything. That's a form of the Banshee. There's a not the hippogriff, but the Gondograph, which is a horse that comes out of the water of Ireland and Scotland, and in its wake and everything, if it sees you, it will draw the water out from your body, and it will turn you into a husk also. It has a screeching neigh that does that also. Like, there's reports of the water being pulled out of the eyeballs of humans, crying endless tears. Like, I mean, there's multiple different versions of the Banshee-esque class, not just one thing.
Well, La Llorona is a form of the Banshee lore incorporated into
Yep.
Mexican folklore. Now, she doesn't forewarn you of,
Yep.
supposedly, she doesn't forewarn you of death by association, but who's to say she doesn't? But it's that, you know, we've heard her, and she does cause people to have, you know, forms of insanity after hearing her cries and stuff like that, and it's because
Right.
of the psychosis it gives you.
Yeah.
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 I didn't think of that.
Mm-hmm. They all kind of
There's also another. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said they all kind of cross metal, like, you know, meddling together in these lores because of the fact that, you know, I think part of it is like the either of the same encompassment or people just hearing them and taking them back home and associating it with something that has happened in their traditions and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's a lot of cross-culture influences.
Yeah.
I mean, and, you know, a big craze of what we know of the Banshee today is from the Monster Hunter lores and everything from the Den of Lions in Europe. And they literally created monster manuals how to defeat these specific creatures that infest towns and stuff. But before then, you know, most of these sightings, most of these, you know, depictions of these creatures were never written down. They were all spoken by tongue because it's what happened within this village, and it's completely different from a village that's a 2-day walk or, you know, a day's horse ride away. And there's even a Philippine, there's one from the Philippines that is like a sexual banshee. It's a creature probably about 3 foot tall, that is completely petite. But the striking, how you know that it's this creature, and the name of it is, I'm going to butcher it, but it's like Parakasata or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a creature of lust and envy. It's kind of like a succubus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's got a 3-foot penis. And if you're trapped in the woods and everything and you see this creature, it will hunt you down. And it will literally control roots to come up out of the ground to trip you.
You're a sacapunta or whatever this is. You're 3-foot dick, then you're running around trying to. No, that's not you.
But 3-foot dick, and it'll come out of the ground to make you ass up, and it literally fuck you too. And every soul, and it sucks your life force out to, and it has to have sex.
Hey Matt, you might have to come back.
I think we're
You're sounding like a
you're doing this.
like that's how you sound right now.
Like we didn't get a whole lot of that.
Crap. Okay, give me a second. Let me come back again. Maybe it's my phone. I don't know what's going on. Give me a second. I'll be right
That
back.
was StreamYard. But yes, we have found out tonight that our Fluffy is a Banshee.
Yeah, with a 3-foot penis. You mofo. No wonder you managed to, like, you know, bring your ass from Boston over here, because, you know, swing, huh? You didn't even need the airplane. You could just walk, huh?
Oh
like pole vaulting.
We missed you, Fluffy.
He hasn't been on a live stream in months, of almost a year.
It's been about a year.
No, it's almost, but not quite. Been a long time. Everybody, the fluff, with his Beavis and Butthead shirt on, because he's spiffy like.
But yeah,
I'm not a banshee. I just yell a lot. I haven't foretold a death yet. I don't think. Yes, I have.
she's a hobbit.
Show.
Oh, hell.
Is Machu back?
No.
No, Machu.
Yeah. But isn't a succubus the type of Banshee?
A what?
A succubus?
A succubus? No, that's more of a succubus is more of like what Lilith would be. More of that quote, I hate saying the D word, but she's in theoretically it's like your demons or your malevolent spirits that are pleasure inducers. Like they'll fornicate with you and draw you in and things like that in order to, yeah, you need a succubus, and yeah, maybe that's how you lost your fingers.
Yeah,
maybe.
So it's, I mean, to put it in the kind of light for light variation, yeah, it's hey, look, there we are. Look, hello everybody, but that makes me look fat.
No, it doesn't.
But yeah, so a succubus, she's like that. She likes life force and pleasure and things like that. So in other words, Fluff's ex-girlfriend. But
what ex-girlfriend?
We won't talk about it.
There was no one before you.
Oh, okay, I'm the only one.
Yeah, you were.
That's he just said there's no other woman before you, so.
Oh.
Nope, there wasn't.
I'm the Lord and Empress. So they say. We went to the fair today and it was so windy and it was gross and I smell like barbecue pit and like hardcore barbecue pit. It's like, ooh.
Well, that cryptozoologist freaking museum we went to yesterday was pretty freaking cool.
That looked really cool. And it was in North Carolina?
Yeah, Littleton.
Oh, okay.
How long
I got a 20-minute video.
So for you to get there, it's like what, 5 hours?
It took us, cause we went to Union Level, which is like a ghost town in Virginia. That was an hour and 36 minutes. And then from there, it was another 45, 50 minutes to Littleton. So it wasn't too bad.
That's not
bad. It was like 20 minutes from the Virginia state line, 30 minutes, give or take.
That's good.
But it was definitely, we'll be going to Raleigh in May to a Monday Night Raw wrestling event.
Huh?
Woo.
Is it? Go look. I think one of my cats got out. Go look and see, because I don't know if one of them got out of the door.
One of the ones that came with y'all a couple years ago. Y'all still got them?
This is a newer rescue. We got him as a baby.
Oh.
You got scared and jumped the fence.
because of the horn.
Yeah. You're not paying attention. He's gonna get killed.
No, it's because now he wants to try to run out of the room. So who's there? Is that one of ours?
One of the gray ones.
Yeah, we have some of our rescues don't like being indoors because they're rescues and they're used to being outside, so we allow some of them to roam, but they are very much like they know where home is, they know where they're fed and stuff like that. But some of them we've had since they were kittens, and those are not good with the outdoors as much. So I think one
You
of
hear
those
me?
got out. I hear you.
Oh my goodness. Mackie got headphones.
I got
Matthew's a long
cattier
time.
headphones.
Hey, Bud Five.
Hello, buddy.
All right. So,
Oh,
anyways,
yeah, perfect.
let's go back to the Peru, whatever, big
The
dick.
3 foot D, the 3 foot D dog.
Yeah. Okay. So where I was last off, the way it's a part of the Banshee-esque, stereotype is when you fall, it can control the roots. Okay. And the way it does is it will control the roots of the trees to come up to trip you where when you fall on your face with your ass up in the air, and it will come behind you and enter you. And with every thrust of it, it absorbs a part of your soul. And it has to
Meow.
have sex like 10 times a day to absorb enough energy
That's
to
him.
live.
What?
You have to have sex 10 times a day. This horny little guy.
You're full of shit.
Okay, that's because you don't get
He's like,
sex.
girl, I'm too tired to even do it.
No, that's not true.
5.
I'm the tired one. I'm the tired one. This fool is like, hey, baby. And I'm like, no.
Well, he is playing with pussy right now, so I mean,
He's a boy pussy, though.
hi,
But,
baby.
that's
Red.
his name is Benjamin Presley.
Hi, Benjamin. You're such a pretty kitty.
His mama's name was Priscilla
You
Presley.
came in at the right time, Redhead.
Aw.
Who's
What's
here?
up, Redhead?
Red.
What
Hi,
up,
Red.
Red?
What the fuck was he doing now? Hey, watch your mouth. We're on the live stream.
Oh, shit.
That would be Puppy.
Hi, puppy.
That would be Puppy, who's over here running
Oh,
her mouth.
but
For those that
there's
don't know, I have teenagers, and I spoke very comparable at that age. So,
right.
any Hooters,
Who
on
did?
with the horny devil.
Yeah. So
Look at him.
the stereotype of Banshee is portrayed as supernatural, paranormal, but it's not. It's classified as cryptic because, well, not cryptic, but cryptid, because it's not just spirit. It's a form to be able to take away human life and feast on it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well, that's like vampirism and all that,
yeah, pretty much.
So they all kind of, in the roundabout way, a lot of cryptids I see hold hands with lores from other cryptids and other cultures.
Yep.
Everyone's going to have their form of the, half like humanoids and things like that. And everybody's going to have their forms of, absolute lore, never seen, but heard or speculated and things like that. Now, I don't recall ever seeing a Banshee.
Yeah.
But there are sightings that people have said have occurred. So,
it's like in Native American lore. Native American lore, they considered the owl, a part of the Banshee-esque.
Yeah,
because
Mexico too. Because Mexico, Mexicans, my culture, will fear owls because they say they are the barrier of souls. So somebody, like, we'll literally say, like, you know, chinga su madre when you see an owl because you want them to go away. Like, you know, we will call them, like, you know, bastards and stuff like that. Like, you're shoving them away or shunning them because that means that somebody's gonna die. Matthew, did you get red?
Yes, I did. I took him on a long pink flamingo ride.
So you kidnapped him from my basement?
With your 3-foot wiener.
I ain't checked my basement in a while, so I don't know if he's still in there.
Well, that's your fault. You're not checking in on the supply.
I know.
I gave him a year worth of food.
Even I check the freezer so often. I mean,
I gave him a bunch of toilets to lick, okay? And seats and all that to lick, okay?
Here's a new toilet seat for you.
I got it from the Goodwill.
I got this from the Waffle House. This one's way seasoned.
Oh God!
I got it from Church's Chicken.
No, I cannot lick. I've done puked in a few Waffle House's trash cans.
I got an Chihuahua toilet seat.
Ooh.
I can't tell you how many times I came into Waffle House drunk.
I got a Skid Row toilet seat for you.
What's that one taco place that's like a major chain out in California? Taco. Yeah.
There's so many of them.
It's like the KFC of taco joints out there.
Bell?
No, not Taco Bell. It's something like Taco Bell, but
Del Taco?
Del Taco. That's it. Del Taco. Yeah.
No, that's pretty bad. But taco smell is worse. But Del Taco pretty bad. No, it's.
I got you a Del Taco toilet seat.
Get you a bad night at the club toilet seat right there. You can get
I like it rough, Red. Okay, I'm sorry, my nub does it rough.
Your nub is rough.
Yeah.
Stinker.
Ray didn't like the way we did butt stuff with my nub, but that's a different story for a different.
Nubby's nub is the same texture of a cat's tongue.
Dude, that's the same texture of Fluffy's butthole.
You know, I wouldn't know what you would know.
Yeah,
I saw what
I know firsthand
that night.
Back
in North Carolina, there's like
Missouri.
There's like a burn book from North Carolina.
No, wait to Missouri. Me and Fluffy are gonna be camping in the front yard together.
Over here in Branson, these fools are camping out.
Carrying a one-man pup tent.
Well, we're like,
I ain't camping in no freaking tent. It's gonna be a camper. It's gonna be in the house.
No, in Branson, we got that.
You're going camping with me, Fluffy, and we're gonna have cots and everything. We ain't sleeping around.
I'd rather a cot than a freaking tent. I'm done with tents.
Y'all can check each other's beards for ticks.
Yeah.
I'll put my beard in a freaking net.
Oh, okay.
Oh, not a net, but like one of the lunch lady things.
Yeah, that's a hair net, but okay.
Not the net, the plastic one.
That ain't stopping shit, okay?
Actually, that will stop ticks, because if ticks feel anything that's not natural, they'll drop off.
Well, that and the chemicals smell to them, too.
Yep. If they touch silk or anything like that, they'll fall off.
But, what's I gonna say? No, we got this really badass Airbnb on the lake. So there's a good chance of some moonlight streakers going on in Branson.
Fluffy, let's do it. Let's streak.
Like, it's literally across, like, there's a parking lot, and then there's the lake. Like, across.
Dude, I can wear my freaking one-piece bathing suit in there and just streak.
You still fitting in that thing?
I don't know. I haven't tried it.
Weekend.
Isn't that your weekend special?
I actually just got it washed and all that, just so I can have it washed for the summer. I plan on freaking people out. Like, I literally plan on freaking people out.
Wear your unicorn arm floats.
Chicken unicorn.
Dude, if I can get me some chicken unicorn arm floats, that would be the shit.
We gotta get you a sombrero too. with like the dangle balls.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I would rock it.
Each year he gets a little something added to the costume.
Yes.
God. I would rock this costume. I mean, I done shaved my head and my beard. I'm not
So
a homeless.
what prompted the head shave? Did you get lice again?
I
Yes.
got gonorrhea. I mean, I was trying to look for a job, and they don't like long hairs.
You should have gone with the lice story.
Yeah.
I got
You
gonorrhea.
should have said you had head crabs.
I got gonorrhea
I'm
from
glad he's
Matt,
trying to
but
find
that's
a
a
job
different
over there
story.
because that area is not really.
No, if you're in a Mexican household, you grow up Mexican, and you so much as scratch your head like this a little bit, your mom's coming out with clippers or a hot comb to brush. If you're a girl, you might get the hot comb, but if you're a boy, your hair is gone. They don't. A Mexican mom, she don't play around. She ain't gonna tear her house apart to clean it for you.
You get what is it? Tree leaf oil or whatever put in your head. Yeah.
That stuff. Some people love it. It stinks.
Yeah.
It's like the ultimate old man smell in like a pomade. Basically like Vaseline.
Yep.
And oh my god, oh that stuff stinks. It's like how Axe body spray is. You know, reminds you of teenage boys. That's what Tres Flores is. You know, shit stinks. Is your pussy?
Stop. He gets scared.
Your pussy got scared? You scared your pussy?
Stop.
Will you stop torturing this poor guy?
He got out of the house and now he's scared because he doesn't know where he is.
You're in the car, bro.
He's only 6 months old.
We're not taking you for a ride down by the lake. Don't worry.
Meow.
And the other cat.
We're not taking you to a van down by the river.
No.
Aww.
No, any other cat, fine, but no.
This is the Velcro cat.
Yeah.
This is the one that has to be like loved.
Him and his
dad are the Velcro cats. They like have to be held.
That's
and
adorable.
and all that.
But his breed,
He'll
have the mentality of a baby until he's like 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah, he's that one breed that they're very like baby and they cry all the time.
And they need to be with their
they need attention all the time until they're like 5 years old. I was like, oh great. Oh, look at the baby.
Aww.
Baby too.
That's my outdoor babies.
But this one, Ben, every time we get out of the shower, he has to put his scent on us.
Yep.
He'll nuzzle you. He'll climb your back.
He's like, you're not allowed to smell. Look at Ben. Look.
Ben, look.
Familia.
Friend.
He's like, where?
Tacos. Tell
him. He's such a pretty color too, because he's not just one color. He's like multi.
He's shades of gray and
gray, brown, and a little bit of
adorable.
Come show your pussy stream.
I'm just showing all my pussies. I'm a hug.
That's a pretty baby.
There's other kids on the screen.
You show me yours, I'll show you mine.
Right?
Yeah, guys. When we all hang out, we're gonna go to the bar, and I'm actually gonna get drunk for the very first time in my life.
Oh bullshit!
Oh, the first time?
I've never been drunk.
We're gonna pop your drunken cherry.
Yeah, I've never been drunk.
You're a filthy ass liar. I
don't
have
know.
never witnessed such a filthy liar.
He's that 60-year-old that goes to church that says, "I'm a born again virgin."
Yes, I am. I've never had sex in my life. Never smoked the devil's lettuce. I freaking despise people that smoke cigarettes.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Like the damn cigarette smokers, man. Those are the worst.
They are.
I hate them. I just want to beat
What?
the next person I see smoke a cigarette. I want to stab them.
So here's a very interesting fact. Well, not fact, but Baylor University. Because culture anthropology bullshit that I'm in and everything. Baylor University came out and said that the Y chromosome is shrinking in males. because there's only 3 genetics in the Y chromosome that makes males males, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the other, 53 genes in it, we still don't know what the fuck they do, even in today. And
NEVA
they
does.
said that,
Missing a few of them.
yeah, but they're saying in the next 500 to 1,000 years, the Y chromosome is going to have to evolve, or it's going to be like the Time Machine, the novel The Time Machine, where the character in the story goes to the year 3044 or something like that, and there's no more men.
Mm-hmm.
And
Hallelujah.
they're pretty much saying that he knew something all the way back then that we are just finding out today, that the
Well,
men are going to go extinct, and we will have to recreate these 3 Y chromosomes to kickstart men. And if we don't do it, we're going to have to test tube create men again, or
yeah,
the
don't get rid
woman.
of all the men, because, dude, I don't like plastic dick.
Yeah,
So if we get rid of all the men, I'm literally unfucked
yeah.
in a bad way.
But they said the double X in females is becoming more and more prominent and stronger in females, to the point where they're becoming the matriarch double X now.
Well, that just means that our lady finger is going to be a little bit longer now, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
We're
But
gonna have
yeah,
these big brawny women with giant clits running around going, "We don't need no man."
what was it on Futurama? The thing of Amazons, shmoo shmoo,
Yeah, the shoes.
shmoo shmoo, and they were like 13, 14 foot tall.
Yeah, they were all huge Amazonian. I
Yeah,
don't even call them women anymore, but in
trust me,
theory,
women. The will is strong, but the body is weak and frail right now.
yeah, see, we don't need
So,
no man.
Fluffy Jenny, do y'all have anything?
I have a
Y'all have
lot coming
anything
up.
coming out?
Oh, he said out, not up. You're quality.
It's about the same thing.
You have anything
Oh,
coming up?
ooh, past fluff. Coming up. Well,
I ain't got shit.
tomorrow, Mr. Fluff is going in to take the second part of his CDL driving test.
Congratulations.
So
Good
he
luck.
passed his pre-trip. Now he has to do like skills, and he's over here like ready to shit a brick over.
Nah.
And so, like, that's what's really put him behind with the channel and stuff and doing streams anymore, because between work and when he's not working his first or second job, he's training for this skills test. So he's like, I
Yeah.
can't wait till it's over with. And for me, it was like I had put everything, a few like of my really, really close friends, like most of you guys know,
Yeah.
how, I was doing a lot with some real estate and probate stuff.
Yeah.
And it came down to like fighting in court over property, and it was what should have been a 30-day ordeal became a 7-month ordeal. And on the 7th month, it was like,
I miss you,
the last 2
Tidbit.
months, it's just been like, it was a nightmare. So I kind of pushed everything back. It's done now. Like, I got that part handled. Now it's the part where we are relocating cross country.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
we will go from being Californians to another coast.
They're gonna be closer to me.
So, which is good. I mean, it's a change. And it's a change that is very welcomed and wanted, but it's been a nightmare. It should not have been this hard, but it was. So here we go. But at least the first part and last part should be a lot easier now. But it had a lot to do with like my father's passing.
Yeah.
And the home that I grew up in, which became my home,
Yeah.
and fighting over that in probate court, and then getting it refinanced again and everything. And then It was a nightmare because when you have people in your bloodline that don't like you and want to fight over everything, probate court can go on forever, and it's very expensive and very draining. So that's where it was. That's the angle I came from in the last 6 months, and no, thank you. But at least I'm an expert in this shit now. I am a certified probate attorney now, because damn. But I learned all the loopholes, as many as I could. And so I will get, I guess, what's coming up. I'll be coming back to my channel. And then we will have a podcast starting from my channel. I don't know if it'll be on tarot and tea or if it's going to be on ghost tea. But there will be a podcast that kind of involves everything. So it'll be from like, you know, the metaphysical angles and, you know, the straight paranormal as it's known on YouTube. Because paranormal is a blanket term for everything, just like metaphysics is a blanket term for a lot. So we'll be going into that and having more discussions, but my style.
Technically, everything's a blanket term.
Yeah. I mean,
we don't know fully on anything.
Right. Always learning and never mastering, but that's the best part of it. So.
Yep.
So that's me. I'll bring back live readings as soon as I can. It's just because of like packing everything up for moving.
Yeah.
You know, I had to go through and catalog my decks, and so I don't have a lot of them out. Not that I need a lot of them to do readings, but I like having my variety. So as soon as we move, it's like it's gonna go like gung ho, like everything's gonna be great. But because we'll have the parlor finally, I'll have my own tarot suite, and it's not gonna be a shared office this time. And
nice.
So from there, like I would say within the next 6 to 12 months, my metaphysical practice will take back off again, and I will likely be leaving the mortuary business completely. I will be retiring out.
Nice.
After about 15 years. So that, because this man here has told me he did not want me working anymore, like a 9-to-5 job. So I'll be a hobbyist. But by then, my savings will be back where it needs to be, to where I can comfortably do that. My goal is to open a brick and mortar store and kind of work for myself. So.
Well, I know you busted your ass in the funeral home business and all that. Like,
working like 70 hours a week, sometimes 80 hours a week. And most people are like, how do you do that? It's not easy. When you're working 16-hour, 18-hour days and sleeping in your clothes and getting up and doing another 16, 18-hour day and doing that like 5 days out of the week, you know, it's tough.
See, I was doing something like that at Domino when I was working at that shithole, but I was
But when you don't have what you need in your establishment and it's relied on you, that's been my life for quite some time. And you give a lot to families and you give a lot to the industry when you work in this industry, and it does take a toll on you. It really does.
Yeah, that's understandable.
I definitely can't wait to see the future stuff you got coming out, Fierce.
It'll be a slow rollout, you know, it ain't gonna be overnight by any means, but you know that this is like staring you in the face, right?
Yeah, they ain't no rush to this. You
and then
take
when
your
Fluffy
time.
makes his comeback, that's gonna be amazing.
Y'all deserve this rest. Y'all deserve to be happy and not worry about the stress of fucking everything.
Matt bust his ass too much at his job too.
Too much. I gotta get onto his ass.
Right.
So sometimes he gets on my ass.
Yeah.
But it came from that work ethic where it was like, if a job has to get done, it gets done. It doesn't matter if you put in 20 hours a day.
Yeah.
You gotta do it again. You know, it's just that's the cloth we're cut from. So.
Yep.
Don't know any other way.
Like that. And if I stop, you know, I'm pretty much dead. So.
But. And I got to be gentle on myself. I can't be doing the caffeine levels that I've been doing for the past 10 years. You know, just I lived on caffeine and like carbs basically,
Yep.
and it fucks you up.
It does.
You ain't lying about that at all.
It gets to you after a while.
But I do have a video dropping tomorrow. Well, I guess today, Monday, at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. Let's see if I can. The walkthrough at the Mason Mill Suicide House. So that was a fun little walkthrough. We found about 4 or 5 dolls at that location.
If there is a house to be walked through, Nubs is your man.
You're
Dude,
right.
I have so many walkthrough. Well, people have been more interested in the walkthrough videos than the investigation. So I'm like, hey, I'll keep doing a lot of walkthroughs myself.
I like the walkthroughs because I like seeing what's there, what you're working with.
Yeah, I know I need to work on my moving better.
Mm-hmm.
But
You need to get you like something on a gimbal so you're not so shaky, and I guarantee you your videos are gonna like do that much more better. Just something with a stabilizer, I think, because people like that. They like being able to have that smooth, through stuff. I think that would be something I'd look into.
They don't want to see you juggling 50 balls and your phone and playing with your metal sticks all in one go, sir.
But he's multitasking.
I think he just likes rubbing his balls and playing with his metal rod.
Oh yeah, Daddy. I love my
I mean, you are the king of cat balls.
No, I'm the king of. Well, yeah, I do like my cat balls. I got one in my book bag.
Cat balls. Cat balls.
Alone as an up with his little cat balls.
But thank y'all for coming up here and talking about banshees.
For as much as we could, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's not really that much about banshees.
It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot of these cryptids I'm gonna be talking about this season. Like a lot of them are considered fae, but I'm still going to talk about them.
Fae is a broad term, also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? There's a lot in the realm of the fae. Quote,
yes.
Like your leprechauns are fae.
I'm gonna be talking about them too.
Leprechauns, brownies, nymphs. Like water sprites. Yeah, water, fire, earth sprites. They're all a part of the.
So ethereal wise, there's so much out there.
Yeah.
You know, just don't ever like try to just lump sum it, because it'll be very vanilla-y when you do that.
Right.
Because it is what it is, because it is what it is. So if you start going into like the sections of it, like you did with Banshee, specific to Banshee, or earth sprites, or whatever, there's a little bit more you can flex with in that realm.
Yeah. Because you have to at the end of it. You can't look at today's depictions of these creatures, because today's depictions of these creatures is what people found on the
internet.
On the internet and on fairy tale books and bullshit like that.
Nobody picks up real reading anymore.
Right.
That type of in-depth research on stuff.
Yeah.
If you really want to get into that, you go to your occultists who like bread and butter that. Like that is their life. And that's why I like talking to like a lot of the occultists who are into like even ritual magic or ceremonial magic and stuff, because they utilize all these different entities, and they're real familiar with the ethereal realm, so they have had encounters, quote encounters, do I know for fact? No, but they say,
right,
and can specify the attitudes, personalities, and things like that of these creatures.
Yeah. Like it's hard. It like yeah, I'm a cryptid hunter, but I don't know every detail about everything, because there's nobody that's going to know that. Even people that specialize these in their life, things evolve and change from as low as 100 years ago.
Yeah. There's something
They evolved like us.
I've been looking into a lot, and it's underwater specters from like ghosts that haunt their sunken vessels and things like that. How that is its own ethereal aspect.
Yeah.
And I've been researching a little bit into that, like why they choose to haunt like sunken vessels. Obviously, it's because they've perished there, but they take on a type of specter all of their own. And it was really interesting, and I got into that because one of my occultist friends was like, have you done your research for kind of like with water sprites, but a whole entity? And I was like, no, I really didn't think about it. Sometimes we think a ghost is a ghost is a ghost. So I didn't really quite look into the manifestation of what that entity truly becomes or is or can have the effects of, because they're drowning victims. So you would assume that energy was very like porous and things like that, but they are existing just in an underwater aspect. And it was
it's the same thing with me. Same thing with me when I did my theory on junkyards, where people have died in their cars, people love their cars, and we did a live stream there. Remember, Nubby?
Yep.
And like people stereotype where ghosts should be,
right,
instead of where they are.
Yeah. And I love looking at those found footages of spirits, like spirits outside of accidents, like fatality accidents, like in like moments or seconds after and like there is some such good imagery when you go deep diving for that, and it's like you see images, like clear images in cars and outside of the cars and stuff like that. And I'm like, could you imagine, that person doesn't realize that they're dead in those instances. They're trying to communicate with the person that they're seeing, going, help me, I've been in an accident. It's interesting. Hey, wake your ass up, boy.
Yeah, Fluffy.
I've been listening.
You listening as you're snoring?
But yeah, like there's a bunch of different interesting things.
There's so much there. So much.
Everything is such a broad term.
Yeah.
And even if you pick one creature out of the spectrum, there is 50 other creatures that resemble or have the same characteristics.
Yep.
And it's not just, say, a gremlin. You have to look at goblins. You have to look at trolls. Everything else that fits that roundabout.
I'm a feral gremlin, and I don't care.
You're a hobbit, sis.
Bull schmacky! I am no hobbit. I will no. I'd protest if you nuh-uh.
You hang out with Gandalf and
no. You can go walk through the Shire and look for a hole in the ground too. I don't care. Me, oh man, that's one way. That's some hate speech right there. I'd be a goblin. I'd be a goblin before I was a hobbit. You can't call short people hobbits, Nubs. You know damn well you're gonna lose fingers saying that shit.
We don't need that.
No.
I don't even know what I am.
You're a magic dragon. A butt dragon. Oh, they're cracking ass in the car the other day.
Was they?
Yes, you were. The girls called you out on it. Wasn't me, yeah.
I was a seat.
You're blaming like hobbits and shit.
But
you crack ass.
But I mean, I can give you some ideas, Nubs, like on what you want to do. I mean, you're gonna have to look at the roundabout stereotype of each thing that you want to do. Like, saying you want to look up Loch Nessie. Well, you're going to have to look at Moko in South America. You're going to have to look up Corotho in Australia. You're going to have to look up all these other creatures that fit that same exact
I think
persona.
we did when we talked about the Loch Ness in season 1. So we looked up Chessie, the Chesapeake Bay one, and there's a bunch of them. The Lake Michigan lake monster. Like, yeah, we covered all of that. I think, like all the lake monsters ones when we did Nessie.
Yeah, it's too broad of a term on one specific creature.
And when we did Bigfoot, we talked about like the skunk ape, yeti, and all of that combined too.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
because Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Yeti, they're all ideally
Orangaponga and
exactly. They're all ideally of the same category,
yeah,
but different. It's kind of like saying, "Here, I have a dog." Well, what
Yeah.
kind of dog do you have? You
Right.
know, it kind of it holds hands like that.
Yeah.
So
any of the humanoid cryptids, that means Dogman, that means Mothman, that means, you know,
Jersey
like the
Devil.
the Woe Strider. That, I mean, even that Woe Strider is a part of the, you know, a part of the Banshee subclass, but it's also a humanoid cryptid also.
yeah, I was about to say, but humanoid at the same time.
Yeah. Like the Woe Strider can be a breath stealer from Native American lore. Like, we don't know because it fits the same characteristics.
Yeah, and until you see people that have had a visual encounter, they start describing things that are of that of other cryptids and other humanoid or whatever category you're in with that particular entity, and you'll sit there and be like, that sounds a lot like yada yada yada, and it's because they probably are of just like, you know, dog. What kind of dog?
Yeah.
No.
Well, it's like, you know, if you go the class Gorgons, okay, Medusa. When was the last time Medusa was seen? The last time a Medusa, yeah. And then you have to say, well, Medusas are like basilisks because basilisks can do the exact same thing.
Yep.
And it's
Yeah,
like,
I can.
And most of these cryptids haven't been seen since the last written document about it. I mean, you don't see a cave filled with stone statues of humans anymore.
No.
Because it's just not around anymore. And same thing with a basilisk. Last recording account of a basilisk was what? 900 AD?
Yep.
Nope. I seen a basilisk back in 2013, but I was on some LSD. No.
Next time, pull your pants up, Bubs.
Right.
I was on a few hits of acid. No, I'm just kidding.
Shrooms are not your friend.
Right. That's the truth.
But you know, we concentrate so much on the more recent cryptids, and we'll just go blanket term ethereal beings. You know, we go on the most recent, you know, within the last 200 years or even within the last century, and deeming those of reliable source. When we don't know what we're looking at, we're just hearing each other talk and trying to associate with what we saw from the next person who may have seen something similar. So then it becomes that's Dogman, instead of saying, oh, this is a ethereal being from 1,000 years ago. And we only know that it's Dogman because someone saw something like that, you know, 60 years ago and said it's Dogman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just how like it becomes stacked.
Like the hippogriff. Like the hippogriff on your opening. Okay. The last recording sighting of that was from Homer when he talked about Atlantis.
Yeah.
So
I wrote on a hippogriff.
And in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
That's where people hear hippogriff from, is Harry Potter.
Right.
And they're like, oh, it's not real. It's in Harry Potter. And like, no, you know, she got a lot of her
stuff from ancient mythology.
Yes.
Technically, Matt, the last hippogriff sighting was back in '90s during the Harry Potter films. So
Yeah, but those we're talking about the people that weren't sitting in a seat that cost $17 with $20 popcorn.
oh, we're talking about real hippogriff.
Yeah.
Oh,
And unicorns and all that, it all came from something somewhere somehow, but it's the validity that we're always trying to strike for. And because we're trying to condense something down into a unbiased, undebatable, lock it in type situation, we're willing to say this is just Bigfoot.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yes.
This couldn't be anything else. It has to be Bigfoot. And so we condense it down and condense it down and condense it down until that makes sense. Because our brain is always searching
there was a
for
recent sighting of a Bigfoot in California just recently, and it turned out that it was a bear that ended up burning both of its paws and its hind paws and everything, and was walking up straight.
Yeah, and it had mange, and so it had a different type of texture to the fur.
Yep.
And it's a million and one different things. But like I said, our brains are constantly searching for the validity strike. We need it to be valid. How do we make it valid? How do I make it make sense? And
unless
you hear that all the time.
Dead.
Yeah. And it's like the mermaid man, that everybody's got one, in their cryptid museums. And we all know that it is the stuff of lore, but it's utilized to promote
Morocco still has $1 million bounty on its mermaid.
Oh shit!
And they need to raise that. Nobody's. It's always been $1 million. Inflation counts,
Yeah.
They need to knock that thing up a bit, But it's we try to make things believable into the sense that we are okay with the belief.
Right.
Yeah.
And so same thing happens with ghosts, even in the most modern form. We're just always trying to find the reality of ghosts and the afterlife. Like that one's easiest for us to swallow. As far as like
another thing with the belief of ghosts and a belief of an afterlife is because a lot of religious figures don't want to believe what the Bible says about it, that we die and get forgotten. Like they want to believe that we still have something going on after death. Like, and
I get into this almost all the time.
Yeah.
Where people are like, that's taboo to talk about death. There's a video online of a lady who let her it's not infant, toddler child play with 2 small urns. They were her parents' ashes in each one. And she sat them in front of the child and said, who do you want to play with, grandma or grandpa? And the baby, she's just learning how to crawl and learning how to grab. So she grabs a urn and she's like, oh, looks like she wants to play with grandma today. And they're like, the lady who was showing it was like, that's an interesting way to talk about death or to teach death. And I was like, death is not taboo. We made it taboo because we have uncertainty with it. We have uncertainty with our mortality and our hereafter. So I told you nothing happens, you just go dark. There's no heaven, hell, there's nothing after this. You would hate your existence. The psychosis behind that would be overwhelming. People would just give up.
But nobody cares about morality. Not that nobody cares about you, but you become forgotten.
I'm doing all this work for what kind of aspect? I don't get a grade at the end of this. So mortality becomes, whatever. Morality goes out the door. I don't have to be a good person anymore. What am I being a good person for?
Right.
Because if this is it and I'm not happy with this, what am I striving for?
What is the purpose?
And everybody, purpose, divinity, all those things are so important to us as a being, and we've been ingrained that there is something more. Whether there is or isn't, debatable, but been ingrained that there's something more, and we need to attain a certain aspect in order to achieve what we want from that. And
it's like when I tell people about when I died when I was little. Like the first time I died, I was just in complete darkness. and I had a voice of many within one voice telling me, it's not your time, wake up. And I was literally being pushed to the morgue with a toe tag on, and scared the shit out of the person that was pushing me, and he left me in a fucking hallway in the lower parts of the hospital. And I was like 5 years, no, I was 4.5. I was 4.5 and didn't know where I was, anything.
I've had 2 brushes with death. One of them was a car accident. The other one was when my kidney failed. And I went into sepsis and had to be defibrillated. And all I remember was hearing the screams. And they weren't bad screams though. They were screams like if you were rushing past somebody on a roller coaster, like kind of that excitement.
Yeah.
And then it got quiet and calm, and yet you felt everything and nothing at the same time. And it was just calmness. There was no like heaven or hell. It was just like I was calm and I was okay, and I didn't feel any pain. I didn't feel anything. And you could hear voices, but they weren't like how I'm speaking to you. It was like internal.
Yeah.
And then I came out of that because obviously I came too. But that's all I remember. Visually, I couldn't tell you much. You know, it was mostly color, like color or absence of color. And so is that afterlife? Does that guarantee me heaven or hell? Not from what I can say from what I've read in religious texts to what I experienced.
Yeah.
It sounded more like energy.
Same thing for me.
Sounded more just like our energy, the fluctuation of the energy and our mind's psychosis and the energy that correlates with the brain. You know, I think that we do go through a transition, but I can't speak to that. I don't know too much. So
yeah, when I told my professor in psychology about it and everything, and he looked at me and he said, well, the darkness and everything, and when you heard the multiple voices, it was probably your brain reconnecting to what your eardrums heard, and your eardrums reverberated everything back to your brain. So it would come back as multiple voices as one. So, and like maybe the flashes of lights and everything is electricity sparking back in your brain.
That's exactly how after doing my dive, I was like, it's all the energy fluctuations of here. So that can't speak to a hereafter, but it also could. If you wanted that, it's all in what we've ingrained in our belief.
Yes.
Interesting.
So you need to realize the whole entire boundary, Dubs. Like, it's not just one straight line. There is
just
it's like branches in the woods.
My first podcast, we're going into the Ars Goetia.
Oh shit.
We're gonna go into each one of the demons of the Lesser Key of Solomon and talk about what they were and why he captured them and how he used them. And how and so I know Matt has, held hands with this one. If you know anybody that's into any type of occult practices, they use the Ars Goetia quite frequently. But it's so, like, to me, it's interesting in the aspect that it's also not interesting. So it's because
that's the one ring I want to find. I want to find Solomon's ring.
Yeah.
I always said I will control demons, and that's the only way I can.
And he captured them all in his little golden vessel and told them, all right, you're up. But then other people believe that those demons were not real, like physical demons, as there are 72 lower aspects of our consciousness and 72 higher aspects of our consciousness. The demons being the lower and our guardian angels being the higher. So those are like our morality complexes that we can turn on with our intentions and manifestations. So some people are like, if you believe in something so much, it becomes, right? Manifestation. And we utilize these components of our psychology, our behavioral and thought processes to make things happen, therefore controlling these demons internally. So
and those demons had to take a human to perform whatever they needed to do.
And this is why I tell people demons don't just show up.
Correct.
They have purpose. And if you aren't going to do for them what they need, they won't have shit to do with you. Any text you read, Any of them. Nobody ever said, if you go into this house, you are going to find like Bethel.
Yeah.
You know, he's just not going to hang out there. These guys are
I'm
like
going to
Lord and Emperor.
Marmot's, clubhouse
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Or Baal. Nobody's going to go, or Belial. Nobody's going to go and find him just hanging out in some random house. Okay, unless he was summoned there by a practice, by ritual,
And even then, he will leave. He'll leave a smaller demon there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's the lesser demons. There's like you have your dukes and your kings and all this, and they're not going to just sit there and go, "We're gonna wait for Nubs to show up." Because we're gonna
wait for Matthew to show up.
Because we're gonna use him to promote our hell on earth, or that's what they want. They want your energy. They only help you if they can get something.
They want money. They want power. They want somebody that can control many.
They are not going to just sit there and go, because there's a lot of people that summon them. They never show up because they're like, I can't use you. You're not good for me. They will not dispel their, like in The Exorcist. The one thing from The Exorcist that I ever took away that I thought was authentic was when the quote demon or whatever said that's much too vulgar display of power.
Yep.
They will not waste on something just for your benefit in your show.
Yeah.
Never. Why would they? They're an intelligent entity, correct?
And they also have limited energy when they come to our world. It's not like what they have in the gates of hell.
Yeah, so they have to utilize, according to text, am I an expert? No. But according to text and according to quote experienced others, but it makes sense when we say like, oh, these demons know more than us according to religious script and everything. These demons are here for this, and this, and this. You can't play one side without playing the other side. You can't have it both ways. And that's where I see a lot of people are like, oh no, demons are just here to like leave 3 scratches on me and make weird sounds on my stuff.
Yeah.
And I sit there and I have an issue with that where I'm like, you say they're mocking the Holy Trinity with the 3 scratches. Who came up with that?
Yeah.
A parapsychologist came up with that.
Yep.
A parapsychologist that only read certain text on demons. But we've carried that as we've died on that mountain with that. That only if it's a demon, it'll have 3. It'll come in 3s. It's 3, 3, 3, 3. How do we know it's not 6, 9, 12?
Yep.
How do we know that it's not 1? How you're trying to say it has to be in order for it to be this, and we don't know that.
Right.
We are not of that. So I always say, like, don't discredit it, but also don't give it validity.
Well, like my father, that was a Baptist preacher and a quote unquote exorcist. He would go and purify houses and everything. He said if a demon wanted you and you had enough power or anything like that, they would touch you and burn the pentagram into you with demonic abyssal words. Like if they scratch you or whatever, it's not a demon.
Yeah. No, they have their ways of marking.
Yeah. And each one of them has their own symbol.
Yes. And everything is sigils, because sigils are energy markers. Yeah. And people utilize sigils and everything. Like our signature, that's our sigil. That's our claim, right? So we utilize that. Even our initials is a form of a sigil when we create our own little. And we utilize that to mark documents, to mark something that says, this is me, this is mine. Same thing. So if you research into things enough, you don't have to be a practitioner at all. But if you read into something, if you're afraid of it so much, you should learn about it. So I grew up mortified of the D word. I would never even say it. I wouldn't even say witch. It scared the shit out of me. So I read about them, and I read about what they are, what they aren't, what we say they are, what we say they aren't, what they say they are, what they say they aren't. So when I got into that, I was like, this is how I can prove to you that not everything you encounter is
what it is.
Or is this, or is that. Because you might just be encountering a superior malevolent entity who supersedes what a demon might be.
Right.
And those do exist. You know,
Well,
if
the
you're
thing
going
is
to believe
people
in that.
don't understand before hell, there was another race in hell that is stronger than demons or the fallen angels. And because people misread and don't want to acknowledge that there is something more powerful than fallen angels.
Mm-hmm.
Because even the Bible says that every fallen angel that fought is chained for eternity into hell.
Mm-hmm.
And there is other creatures that take the form of these creatures to come back out.
Mm-hmm.
So, and
Because
it's
those are the
like,
ones we've given light to. Those are the ones we've given severance to.
right,
You don't think that, you know, there's so much stuff we haven't discovered in the depths of our oceans. You think even more isn't discovered in that aspect?
right,
So I always tell people, like, believe what you want, research it all.
yeah,
Don't always give everything the validity that you think people want. Give it what it deserves. And
right,
that's how you protect yourself. That is how you go into a fight with the paranormal or anything. That's like people are like, oh, Jen, what crystals do I need for this and that? I believe
mm-hmm,
you don't need any of them. Just
yeah,
like you don't need a cross, you don't need holy water, and you don't need the Bible.
right,
That's in you. That is your faith. That is your force field. You don't have to have them in physical possession.
yeah,
Your energy comes from you. You illuminate that Bible. You illuminate that cross. You make the energy that makes that water be protected,
yes,
along with other people's energies or whatever, but you contain it stronger in you than you will ever externally. But you
correct,
can manifest it externally. So that's why I always tell people, like, the people will tell me, oh, I feel so safe around you, or I can literally feel vibrations coming off your fingertips when you touch me. And it's because I
mm-hmm,
always tell people I've learned a lot about energy
yeah,
from qigong and I ching and all that. That's I've taken practice upon practice to learn how to protect my daughters, my
right.
children. You know, when I was a single mom afraid of everything, I protected my daughters in every aspect. And one
That's
of
why
them,
I say a mother is the most powerful thing in the world. Like,
and that womb of
especially when it
lineage,
comes to family.
yeah, and in that creation aspect, we will do whatever it takes. And so for me, I deep dove into everything because
Yeah,
I knew I was a sole proprietor over their life of
right.
nurturing them and growing them. So I had to learn everything and anything that I could. And that's what I learned how to do, was utilize energy, manipulate energy. I can touch somebody and make them feel tired. I do it to
Yeah.
him all the time.
I
And
mean, he is passed out.
it's not hard. No, but like there's times where I'll press on certain points of him and he's like, I'm sleepy. And I was like, well, that's because I'm suppressing this.
Yeah,
And you learn how to do that. And I do it with my daughters and stuff like that. And the ways to promote, like, you know, endorphins and serotonin and stuff like that. Just naturally through therapeutics. Just on, you know, on them, like pressure points.
yeah,
And how to get rid of pain and how to heal the headache and anxiety and stuff like that. Firm believer in all of that. But because we can do those things, because we are energy,
right.
there's things that other things contain that same type of energy, and we've given that way with entities and stuff like that. You don't need anything other than your serenity and your divinity to protect yourself, really. And if you're not comfortable with that yet, don't go into those fights.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
It's just like when I learned in Bushido, when I learned in traditional jujitsu, I
mhm,
learned the 4 cross points in the
mhm.
human body. And it's the exact same thing. I can shut your whole entire arm off. I can shut
You can
your
slow down the
spine
heart.
from working.
Yeah,
Like,
you can slow down
it
someone's heartbeat. You know,
yeah,
like, it's not. If you know what you're doing, there's a lot of things you can do.
yeah. Like, and, you know, there's a pressure point that I've vowed to never use, but I can hit up underneath your chin and stop the blood flow going to your brain. So,
Mhm. You can
but
also make aneurysms too.
yeah,
A high point pressure.
yeah.
But yeah, guys, Tuesday,
But on top
go.
of the quote on murder,
Tuesday, go vote Nubby for the Republican Party, and then we're going to be the Paranormal Party, and we are going to take over this country, guys.
Make paranormal fun again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sacrificing babies is optional.
No, we're not sacrificing no babies. It's not an option. No.
It's not an option.
Now, if you want to sacrifice a finger, Nubs is your guy.
You need to quote it as sacrificing kids so they can sound like goats.
Yeah.
Oh god! But everybody, go.
Get those damn kids out of the field.
Oh god.
Fluff. Rah! Wake up.
What the hell? What the hell?
Oh god.
No, he'll jump sometimes. He's tired though.
Everybody, go check out Exploring with Fluffy and Taryn.
Exploring with Mimi.
Yes.
Go
check out our brothers and our brother and sister.
We love y'all. And we will see y'all on the next Cryptid Monday.
Bye.
Love you, family.